This entire video takes place inside a greenhouse with an NPS employee standing between two long benches.
Hi, I'm Susan McCavery, horticulturist for the Roosevelt Home Garden, and today I'd like to show you a little bit of what's happening in our greenhouse at the home of Franklin Roosevelt. And right now we're spending a lot of time in this small section of the greenhouse that we refer to as the germination room. And this is an ideal location for starting seeds or rooting cuttings of plants for several reasons. We have a wall on our south side, so the bench and the room are positioned on the north side of the wall, and that makes this area a little less well lit than the rest of the greenhouse. So we get a little bit of shade at different times of day, which is just a better environment, not quite so harsh on the newly germinating seeds or cuttings that we're growing in here. And we have a bench system here that there's a heat pipe running underneath the bench, and then on the surface of the bench are these clay tiles which help to distribute the heat very evenly across the surface. And this again provides a really great environment and nice warm even temperatures for seeds to germinate or for a cutting to root. And then lastly, just this year, actually over the winter time, our very talented facilities maintenance staff at the park helped us to install a mist system here. The mist system uses this electronic leaf. So you can see this, it almost looks like a little fly swatter attached to this machine. And then there are nozzles positioned above the bench here. And when this leaf, you can actually see some water droplets on there now. When it's wet, it's in a low position, but as it dries, it slowly raises up, and when it gets dry enough on that leaf, the mist system comes on and just stays on long enough to moisten the surface of the soil and keeps the soil very consistently moist throughout, but not soggy, so that it's not going to drown our little seedlings, but it will keep them moist at all times. Or a cutting. In this case, we have a Salvia cutting here. So these were little pieces of the plant that were cut off of here and then stuck into a soilless mix here with a lot of perlite. And actually just this week, they started putting out some roots. And these cuttings were just taken on March 2nd, and today is March 18th. So that's just 16 days. We have really very fully rooted cuttings here in this really great environment. And we also have had great success with starting our seeds here. These are artichokes that were started back on March 2nd also. And you can see they've germinated. Some of them still have a little seed coat attached to the leaves that have come out here. And these first leaves, we call them Cotyledons or seed leaves. These are the very first leaves that form on the plant as it emerges. And then the true leaves are the next to come, and they're just starting in the center here. You can see them. And once these plants have all formed true leaves, we'll actually take them out of this container and transplant them into individual pots to go out into the garden.